What is up, everybody? It's me, Duke Farley, back at it again here on Lost at Sea, and I am talking to a contestant that's about to go into the Ascendance Live House for season 4. I'm talking to Eli. Eli, what's going on? How are you?
Not a whole lot. I'm doing well. I am really excited, getting a little nervous. It's coming up quick, but I'm really looking forward to it.
Yes, and I'm sure you're going to have a lot of fun going in there. But before you get into that house, we have a couple questions here for you just to kind of get to know you a little bit more. The first one being, if you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go?
Ooh. Um, First thing off the top of my head, probably Amsterdam. I've never been there. I just love, like, from what I've heard about it, it seems like a great place. I want to go check out the museums there, the art galleries, and just like the social scene as well. I think that it would be a place that I would enjoy. And just anywhere in Europe in general. I would love to do like the classic Europe tour and visit all of like London and Paris and places like that. But Amsterdam's always been top of my list for some reason.
Amsterdam has been on my list as well, so it's funny that you say that. There's a commercial that I saw a while back that has just kind of been imprinted into my brain, and ever since I've seen that, I've wanted to go there. I
Yeah,
heard it's
no,
great nightlife.
that's what I've heard as well. And not a lot of my friends have been there, and I want to check it out. I feel like it'd be really fun. So that's where I would go for
Well,
sure.
maybe after the live house, you can go there.
Maybe so. There it is.
Um, Speaking of the live house, you say you have one superpower that you could have going into Ascendance Live season 4. What would it be, and how would it help you?
Ooh. Um, I definitely think I'd say like the ability to predict the future. That I think that would help me in more ways than one. Just knowing who's there would help. Like obviously not knowing who I'm playing with, it's kind of hard to like prep in certain ways. So that would be a big like help for me, like pre-game, and then obviously anything that happens within the game. But that would also kind of lose the fun of it. So I would really only want to know maybe who's playing so I can kind of prepare a little bit better. But I think that's what would be most beneficial superpower wise for a game like this. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought of, but something like that. Just being able to
Yes,
see a little bit ahead.
I think that'd be a great superpower to have. Um, and you mentioned not knowing who you're playing with, but the next question I have stems towards kind of the duo aspect of this season.
Yes.
And what is something that you think that you'll bring to your duo, like a strength of yours? And
Hmm.
then what's something that you hope that your duo partner brings to the duo that maybe that you isn't your strength?
Got it. Um, I think I give off a very like laid back, chill vibe for the most part, even if I'm thinking of a million things in my head. Like at first, I can come off as kind of more chill, relaxing. So I've been told. So I think that would help in a duo aspect since I will be working closely with someone. So
Yeah.
kind of having that balance, I think would help just with strategy and also communication. Um, Something that I would hope my duo partner would bring that I would kind of lack in. Um, I don't know, maybe a few things, maybe some kind of social connections. I feel like I'm kind of new to this, so I don't really plan on knowing anyone. So maybe if they might know a few people, that might help us as a team or anything like that. Maybe past experience, a little more experience than I have, whether that's with Ascendance or live games in general. I think that would benefit us as a whole, and we could work together well to kind of have a more diverse perspective on the game. So, me being a more new player to these kind of things. So,
Yeah. Well, hopefully that's you get that with your partner.
yeah, I'm hoping so.
Speaking of your partner, if there's an opportunity to eliminate them or turn on them in the
Hmm.
season, would you do it?
Yes, I would, only because I know that there can only be one winner, and I would make sure that I was turning on my partner before they turned on me. I would hope that we would have that genuine good relationship and we could last long throughout the game. But I'm also ready and preparing myself to ultimately be willing to cut off anyone that I need to, because I don't want to have that affect my game. and negatively. So I hope it might be a sad thing that I might have to do, but it is something that I'd be willing to do ultimately if it means that I would be getting one step closer to the end.
Yeah. You're in it for the win, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And I would want them in, I obviously like as long as possible. And I would genuinely want to work with them as long as I could. I wouldn't like target them or have any intent against them unless it was someone that I really just didn't get along with. But I don't know if I see that happening. So I would do my best to make sure they could get as far as possible. But I'd be willing to make that move because make a better move for myself.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
Right. And it's not personal.
Not personal, just game.
Right.
Would you rather be hated and win the game or loved and lose the game?
Oh, that's a hard question. I'm typically the type of person that's like likes validation or likes when people enjoy me and my company. So I feel like at first I would say like loved and lose the game, but I've been waiting for this for a long time, and I ultimately winning is at the top of my list. So I think to answer your question, I would rather be hated and win because I am confident in myself that I could kind of mend relationships and form friendships afterwards if I needed to. Because, life goes on, and I'd rather have that win under my belt and be able to make friends in the future with people that would respect that and respect the game that I played, even if it means people kind of hate me at first.
And hate's a strong word. I doubt anybody's gonna hate you.
Right. No, I get what you mean though. Yeah.
Um, if you do lose this season, which you probably won't, but if you were to lose this season, what do you think would be the main reason why?
Um, Honestly, I think it just would be I wasn't aware enough, thinking far enough ahead. I think I'm like outside of games, like I'm a pretty honest, loyal person, and I'm trying to kind of push that to the side and be more villainous and do what I need to do. But I think if I was to get voted out, lose at any point, it would be whether I'm blinded by some form of relationship that I have with someone that I really care about, or I'm just not thinking as far ahead as I should be in any given moment. If I'm too focused on what I want to do per se, or whatever it is. But that's kind of what I'm trying to keep my mind open going into it so that I avoid that and thinking of all options at all times. Just because from the one other live game I've played, that was kind of my downfall, is not being as aware as I should have been and not playing as hard as I should have been right from the start. So that's kind of what I feel like would be my downfall if that would happen.
Okay.
Mhm.
And you mentioned, trying to be a little bit more villainous. What does that mean?
Yeah. Just more like willing to lie to people, turn on people. I feel like I am willing to make genuine relationships, but at the end of the day, I think I cared a little bit too much about those and how people would feel about me with decisions that I would make. So to not to sound selfish, but ultimately make every decision in this game that is going to be for myself, even if that means pissing somebody off or cutting someone off way earlier than I initially planned. Um, and also willing to start things that would save me if I was in a vulnerable spot, starting lives, um, anything like that. Just kind of being more strategic and being willing to do more things that maybe some other players might not be willing to do to save myself.
Okay. What's one thing that you wish to accomplish during the season?
One thing I wish to accomplish, I kind of just want to prove to myself that I can do this. Honestly, it's not something I've really ever done before, but also just kind of like big goals and small goals. Like I don't want to be first out, obviously. So just being proud of what I do, even if I don't win, just kind of knowing that I left it all out there and doing everything that I could to put myself in the best position. So if I can get to that point in the game and feel like I played the best that I could, I'll feel accomplished. So just giving it 100% right from the beginning, not letting up until it's over, and just, meeting new people and hopefully making some good friendships along the way.
And I'm sure you're going to do all those things.
Yeah, I hope so. It seems like I will. I'm from what I've seen in the past in the community.
Is there anything that you find interesting that you want to talk about before we conclude this interview?
Um,
Could be about anything.
I mean, I do think it's interesting, like going in to a duo season. I don't know who my partner is. I was cast like as a, as kind of a mystery. So that is one thing that I feel like is an added part of my prep and strategy for this game, because I think that's something that a lot of these other duos are not having to think about. So I think that's one thing that I'm looking forward to. I hope it's not something that will negatively affect me, but it's kind of a unique position to be in, I think, and I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, I think that's the only thing. That's what I'm looking forward to the most. I'm ready for it, honestly. And just ready to know who it is.
Is there anything where, you obviously don't know who your partner is going to be, but is there any part of you that thinks that's a positive for you, that you're going in kind of blind here?
Honestly, yeah. Because kind of like how you were asking before, I think I would be a little more willing and it would be a little easier for me to cut my partner if I needed to, just because I won't know them. There's no pre-existing relationship or anything. So I think that could benefit me in some way. And also just having that possibility of having someone that might have that additional experience or different perspective that we can use together to our benefit. So I do ultimately think it's a good thing. A little nerve wracking, but
How shocked would you be if it was somebody that you actually did know, maybe like one of your family members?
I would be very shocked, mainly because I don't see anyone in my family playing anything like this. But I I would be shocked if it was anyone that I knew in general. But I guess it's not out of the question and never's out of the question. But I don't know. I feel like I was just already in the mindset that it was going to be some stranger that I was going to have to work really hard to make that relationship with going in. So if it's not, that would be great. I could kind of skip that step, but that's kind of where I'm at mentally at this point.
Well, Eli, I appreciate you taking the time to do the preseason interview, and I look forward to seeing you meet your partner and you kill this season.
I'm looking forward to it too. Thank you so much, Duke.